Well, ladies and gentlemen, with the election going the way it did, with Donald Trump winning in a resounding fashion, not only the Electoral College, but also the popular vote, so liberals can't pull the whole, well, more than half the country hates him, they didn't vote for him, we would have won with the popular vote, we should go to that. They can't pull that. They're obviously very somber, very sad. We've got Kimmel and Cuban. Those are the two main ones I want to react to, and then just kind of give my overall take on all the liberal outrage. Some of the stuff is so ridiculous. You've got these kids setting up their phones and then doing it. You've got one kid writing, I love Kamala on his face, and then screaming that it was rigged for Trump. I mean, I think some of them are like making fun of other liberals as it's like a caricature. They are funny. A lot of it's embellished. It's for views. We understand that, but I do want to talk about the dynamic. And really, this is what Kimmel did. He came out and he gave 5 minutes of whatever, his little dialogue of why Trump is this horrible person. The world's gonna get so much worse for basically everybody except white men. He's teary-eyed. And it's just, this is what these late night hosts have to do. Colbert did the exact same thing. They're so entrenched with politics and liberalism and this idea to where a lot of it with these white guys who are rich like Kimmel, they feel this guilt. And so they kind of have to pass that off and be like, I'm a good person. I'm sorry what's happened. But see, I'm liberal. Yes, I might be a multimillionaire and Trump getting in is going to help me. But I just feel so bad for everyone. And now what they'll do, and you can see what Kimmel does, is they'll do the whole dynamic of, oh my, it's going to be so horrible. So many people's lives are going to be worse. So many people's rights are going to get taken away. They know all that's false, but this is the cope that they do now because they want to make conservatives feel bad. It's like, oh, I don't care about myself, but for everyone out there, basically all Americans except for white men, the world is going to be so bad for you, and I just feel bad. So let's listen to what Kimmel has to say here with his little...
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women.
He's like crying. I mean, he's trying to hold it in.
For children, for the hundreds of thousands of...
It's a terrible night for children with Republicans and liberal crime.
Hardworking immigrants who make this country go.
Hardworking legal immigrants, or legal or illegal, because that's the other thing. You can't let the left do this where they try and hijack the conversation. Trump, and by the way, not all Republicans are like this, but Trump specifically says that he likes legal immigration and wants more of it and says we need more of it. So the idea that you would use that as an angle against Trump, who by conservative standards is more like center on the whole topic of immigration. He wants more legal immigration. Some Republicans do not agree with that. Like I've said, there should be less and we should be more strict. But the idea that's what you would get Trump on. Well, yes, the people here illegally need to go. And notice what they're doing now. They're like, well, the cost of it is going to be so high. Well, then I don't know. Why did Biden let him in the first place? You can't win with these people. We have a strong border. It's racist. You open the border up. Well, you can't deport them because it costs too much money now. No, let's just let everyone in then. Well, that's what they want. But let me just replay this. I'm sorry.
For healthcare, for our climate, for science.
It's like they added a applause track. I mean, that applause is deafening.
For journalism.
I can't even hear him.
For justice, for free speech.
For free speech. He says free speech is going to be worse under Republicans. It's just pure gaslighting.
It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for...
Oh, no. Poor, yeah, I know. What the middle class needs... Jimmy, no, you're right. We just need a 20% inflation rate. He's right. Because, guys, notice how you remember their closing argument? They're like, well, no, now it's a 2% inflation rate. No, that's not how it works. It's a 2% inflation rate based off of what it was the previous year at the same time. That's what they're referencing in terms of inflation rate. We're talking about your entire administration. It's a 20% inflation rate, meaning if you had $1 million in the bank when Biden took over, it's worth around $800K. Your purchasing power is down 20%. That's what that is. Then they try and swing it like, oh, but it's gone down to 2%. Yes, but the problem is it was at 9 to 10%. And then they say, well, every other country went up. The United States, the dollar is the global reserve currency. So what happens in America is going to affect all the other countries. That's the way it works. And so, I mean, he's talking about free speech. It's just all crap. I mean,
to rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO.
And then the fake crying. And then it's just like, for NATO, oh my God, NATO's gonna, the smaller countries are actually gonna have to pay 2%. Heaven forbid. What are you talking about, NATO? This is great. No, Trump is coming in and he's gonna force the countries to pay more. I talked about this for like 20 minutes yesterday in a video. I outlined all of it, Trump possibly leaving NATO, and I said it's probably not going to happen. But no, this is good for the United States. Yeah, it's bad for the countries in Europe. NATO as an agreement doesn't work for the United States, or it's because the dynamics of it are different. It was agreed upon in the late 40s, and now it's totally different. But these people, it's all just, we need to give other countries everything. We need to let everyone come in. And they now openly admit, they say, we're declining the natural born citizens. The birth rate is declining. So we must, to bring the population up, bring in the immigrants. And then you've got all these women who are like my age and younger talking about how their rights are being taken away and how horrible it is. Well, number one, it's not even a Trump issue. It's a states issue. Donald Trump is not the one enforcing that. And number two, this is not something that's nationwide. It's like they say this is I'm not even going to get into it, but it's obviously ridiculous and pure gaslighting when they say that. You've also got Cuban, who is apparently deleting a bunch of his pro-Kamala posts. What's going on with Cuban? So Cuban, I think, was very jealous of Trump, but maybe even more so of Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk bought X. He got insane power by purchasing X. Remember, these guys, they're multi-billionaires. Obviously, Musk is worth way more than Cuban, but when you get to that status, your number one goal, not everyone's who's rich, but a lot of people, they have the money. What they want is the power. And Musk was able to get that power through purchasing X, and then on top of that, endorsing Trump and promoting Trump and putting out propaganda for Trump. And now he's within the Trump administration taking pictures with Trump. He's got an insane amount of power that Cuban wishes he could have. So I think Cuban looked at the landscape and said, there's really no liberal version of Musk. There's really no even liberal version of Trump, whether, because people were comparing Cuban to Trump as well. They're around the same net worth. I don't know how much Cuban is worth, but billions of dollars. The point is, I think Cuban got jealous of both Trump and Musk, and he wanted to be the anti, so he campaigned really hard for Harris, and obviously it looks terrible now. And that's why he bought those big glasses. It's the whole caricature of I'm not threatening. It's coming at being like a billionaire from a different angle. I can help people. Yes, I'm really rich, but look at how many jobs I created and everything. That's what he was saying. So that was Cuban's thing, and now he just looks like an ass after everything that happened, where he spews all this Kamala propaganda seemingly out of left field for like 2 months, and now he's deleting all of it. And so we'll see what Cuban's next move is. I had speculated that he was going to run in 2028. It's possible that he tries to run to be the Democratic candidate, maybe go up and have some debates. I mean, listen, you get bored if you're a billionaire, you want to do cool things. You see other billionaires with a lot more power than you, and you get a little bit jealous. And so that was always my speculation on Cuban and what I thought happened there, because it was very strange to see a multi-billionaire, someone of Cuban's fame, come out randomly in left field. I mean, I don't even remember him talking about Biden very much. I don't know. I think he was a liberal, but this was a pure, like, he was campaigning for Harris. He was doing these events with Harris, literally copying what Musk was doing with Trump, where he would have these town hall type things, just like Musk was with Trump. And I would imagine it was a combination of him trying to be the anti-Elon, the anti-Trump, and also to have some power within the Harris administration should Harris win, just like Musk has now with Trump. That's what these billionaires want. They've got the money. Well, maybe Cuban doesn't have the money that Musk has, but Cuban's already admitted if he had the money, he would be buying Fox News. There was a rumor that Elon was buying CNN. That would be great, by the way. I love CNN's graphics. Obviously, they're very left-wing, but imagine Musk took control and made that more conservative. I do think at a certain point, it gets a little bit too much but I would say buying CNN would be amazing for Musk. That was just some crazy rumor. It's probably not going to happen. I didn't even check up on it, but I saw it a few days ago. But Cuban had said he wanted to buy Fox News. He doesn't have the money to do it. He wanted to buy X from Musk because he wants the power. But Musk X is priceless. Musk is never going to sell it. What people don't understand, they think that they're dunking on Musk when they say, "Oh, you're dumb. Now it's worth 1/5 of what it was when you bought it." It doesn't matter. He's never going to sell it. It's all about the power of X, the power of communication on the internet. That's why he bought it. And obviously, you are trying to monetize it, things like that, make money. Now he's got this whole program. There's still some serious problems with X and the bots, and it's still a big issue. And Musk is going to have to deal with it, and he's really got to start being honest. There's a big problem. I mean, he keeps saying bots are way down, bots are way down. It's significant with where these people just spam random comments. It's got to be cleaned up. But still, I like where the platform is at this point. Obviously, I'm extremely happy that Musk is in charge because I'm more conservative. But I do think Cuban is trying to be the anti-Musk, the anti-Trump, and now he's kind of embarrassed. And I don't know, deleting. There was the thing that happened where he said Trump surrounds himself with really weak women, which was a horrible thing to say, especially for a campaign. Remember the Tony Hinchcliffe joke about Puerto Rico? And then he says that a few days later. Obviously, Biden also called all of Trump supporters garbage. That was even bigger. But it's just the idea of it. So I think Cuban has some egg on his face right now. And he's embarrassed for what happened and how badly. It's not just the fact that Kamala lost. She got destroyed. And it was a clear indication from the general public and from Americans that we do not want this at all. And Trump wins the popular vote, even with liberals running up to the totals in California, and he wins every swing state. And Cuban, for his credit, I don't know what the last thing he's tweeted, but he did say congratulations and stuff. He's saying something like, looks like Rogan, RFK Jr., and so many others talk about wellness. That's great. He's talking about a product there. I think he did say something. I didn't expect him to have this many tweets here. But he did say he wishes Trump, there it is, congratulations, real Donald Trump, you won fair and square. Congrats to Elon Musk as well. So, that was nice that a lot of liberals don't do that. So, at least he offered that. But either way, I mean, he did campaign hard against Trump and also Musk, and I think he wanted the power within the Democrats. And I would imagine maybe for Cuban, honestly, it could be a win-win if he actually wants to run in 2028, because this is the dynamic of politics. If Harris wins, you're screwed. And that goes for Newsom, that goes for Whitmer, that goes for Shapiro, that goes for any other Democrat. There's rumors Matthew McConaughey possibly wants to run as a Democrat. That's a big issue if Harris wins, because she's going to be the incumbent. And she's going to run again and take up a spot in 2028, and you're not going to have a chance until 2032 unless something crazy happens. So this could be something where Cuban's like, yeah, this is kind of nice. We'll let Trump go in there, finish it out. It'll be 4 years of MAGA. People will be sick of it. And I'll have my chance in 2028 in a brand new open Democratic field. So maybe this is what he wanted to happen. He was either going to have an immense power within the Harris administration, or he was going to be able to run his own campaign in 2028 against other Democrats and kind of say he's the good version of Elon Musk or Trump. So we'll have to see what happens with him. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.